So the last time I was up here, I was pretty freaked out. We released a data set, and I was absolutely nervous. And the reason was I thought the American Medical Association was going to sue me for releasing the data, which is the reason why last year you all had a USB stick, and so that I couldn't take it back, right? Everyone had the data. And that's really important because part of my message is that this year, this is going to be a lot of fun. What I am about to do is to give you 7 figures of data, which is to say, a week ago, if you wanted to get this data, you had to have $1 million. And I'm going to give it to you. And the approach that I take to healthcare is hacking healthcare. That's the title of the book that I wrote for O'Reilly. And it's supposed to be fun. This is going to be fun. Now, this is the data that I released last year, but we've turned it into a graphic. Now, here you can see how much my doctor works with different providers, and the purple links, the size of the edges indicate the strength of the relationship, and then you can also see that the purple and blue represents whether or not they're working with people who are in the same building. So this is actually the merger of 2 graphs. This is the data that we released last year. This is 50 million rows. It's pretty cool. So what did we release this year? We are going to release 2 data sets, one which we're going to be crowdsourcing, and the other is this data, which is the prescribing patterns from Medicare Part D. ProPublica did the FOIA request to get this data. ProPublica is an amazing organization. They're also the people who are doing amazing stuff with the Snowden releases are the same people who got this data. We replicated their FOIA request. We merged it with our data set, which is what the amazing thing is. You're seeing here all of the light blue dots are medications. All of the other colors are different providers, and they're colored by their type. So you can see, I think the red one there is pain medication, green and orange are internal medicine or primary care. And so you see these patterns, and you can now do an analysis with open data, not on how a physician prescribes, although you can do that too, but you can put these data sets together, and you can do an analysis on how a network of providers is prescribing open data sets again. So this is the kind of stuff that we do. Now, as you can imagine, these are uncomfortable data sets for people to have out. And of course, you can see here, this particular diagram, the size of the bubbles is related to the amount of money. And Lipitor was not off patent in 2011. So almost always you can see Lipitor as a huge source of income. And actually, in this particular area, you can see that OxyContin is prescribed by a single pain doctor and by a primary care doctor, which could be totally unethical, or it could be that that's a primary care physician who works in a pain clinic. The second thing that we're going to address is we are trying to crowdsource with Cincinnati Children's Hospital the best food database in the open source ever. There's lots of open data sources for food, and they're pretty good, but they're purpose-built. So you can get data about protein structures that you need to do complex allergy collections. You can get data sets, open data sets, to do, scan the back of your Doritos and get information about the ingredients. We would like you to be able to do all of that, which is to say, scan the back of your Doritos, and then write software that understands the fundamental protein structures that are in there, and we want to open source that. So this is basically taking the lessons of what you might expect to find in a high-quality medication database and applying them over to food. So this is a crowd sourced and funded thing, so we're asking people to help us scan their pantries so that they can give us ingredients information. Lots of people have tried this approach. We are the first people to actually give this away. So how do you get this data? If you are here at StrataRx, this is a perk of staying late, is that you get to get this data. So follow our Twitter handle, tweet with the StrataRx hashtag, and then prove that you were here. Bonus points for proving you were here by taking pictures with either Julie or Colin. I think that's just fun. So if you're not here, the only way to get the data is to participate in our crowdfunding efforts. So give us a little bit of money, and we will give you a lot of money, a lot of data. Now, so right now, I'm going to, for $100 during the crowdfunding, I'll give you the data. But we use an open source eventually model, which is to say, we're going to give everyone eventually for free this data set. So it will become an open data set. That's our business model, is that we charge a very small amount of money to begin with so that we can sustain our efforts, and then we give it away. So with that, please help me continue to change the world. This has been so much fun giving out open data. So thank you for having me.